Time now for The Real Estate Connection with Stephen Thayard, a realtor and certified probate and real estate specialist. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor looking to downsize, move up, or refinance, this program is for you.
Our house in the middle of a street.
From probate sales to landscape design to home repairs and maintenance, this is your weekly look into all things real estate. Now your host for The Real Estate Connection, Stephen Thayard.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show! Yeah, that's right. We are live. We are live. Thank you for joining me yet again on The Real Estate Connection with your host and realtor, Stephen Thayard, broadcasting live out of Northern California and the city of Gilroy. We're going to call into the radio station and we're going to get this thing started, lift it off the ground. As you can see by the title at the very top, it says All Things Air Conditioning. Yes, that's right. That's the title of today's show. And we're going to be discussing that as the weather starts to heat up. So I'm going to call into the station right now just to see if we can get this thing started. Righty. All right. Okay. So we are going to call right now. Hold on one second. Here we go. Calling in the station. Thanks again for joining me, you guys. I really do appreciate it. I think it's fantastic that y'all are hanging out with me today. Hey, good morning. I think we are ready to start our recording session. How about that? You let me know when we are ready to go. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yes, it is. All things considered, yes, it is a beautiful day. I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, I can. All right, they're testing audio, folks. So as we wait for them to test audio, hopefully things are rolling through onto the different platforms. I'm seeing green lights everywhere as I'm looking into the background on some of this stuff. That's good. I've got two people looking at me on Facebook. Hey, everybody on Facebook, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me today. Today's topic, as you can see at the top, is all things air conditioning. And I hope you guys are all doing well on this fine Wednesday, the 13th of May. That's right. It is already halfway through the month of May. Can you believe it? According to the Santa Clara County shelter-in-place order, that means we're halfway done. And I haven't heard anything. They haven't tipped their hand as far as whether or not they're going to extend it. So I'm hoping that we all get out on good behavior just in time for summer to enjoy June and also Independence Day on July 4th. So I'm vamping here as I'm waiting for my engineer on the other side to tell me that we're ready to start our show and start recording. Huh? How we doing? Okay, he's ready. I'm trying to find my cord. I got 4 cords going. There we go. I had to turn that up so I could hear him. There we go. Much better. All right. So we're going to count this down. Thank you for letting me vamp a little bit as we get ready to rock and roll into the show today. And I'm going to count down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Connection with your host, realtor, probate real estate specialist, Stephen Thayard, located here in Northern California. broadcasting out of the radio station KFAX 1100 out of San Francisco. And I believe that we're going to be having a new radio station join us. It's escaping me, the call signs. I believe it's KQRB, but I'll have to get back and check that as we're bringing them on board. Second station, thank you very much, Salem Media Group. And I want to thank you for joining me today on our Shelter in Place edition number 9. And also my live audience out there, Greg Johnson, who said, "What's up, Stephen?" So I'm saying, "What's up back, my friend?" Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to the show. Today's show is going to be hot. Just like our upcoming weather is going to be as we are rolling out of spring and looking forward to hitting into the months of June, July, and August. So with the upcoming hot weather moving towards us, I thought we would tackle the topic of air conditioning. Yes, that's right, air conditioning. We're doing a show, all things air conditioning, a review. We went through this, I believe, last year in August, but I thought it would be a good time to touch on this information again as we're getting ready to move into the hot part of the year where we're enjoying lots of outside activities. But not only that, I have some updates to real estate as it's being conducted in the state of California later on in the show. So make sure you stay with me to catch those hot off the presses updates as far as what's going on as we practice real estate in the state of California, and especially Santa Clara County. So stick around; you don't want to miss that. Welcome, everyone. It appears that we're all over this shelter in place in California, and we're all over the place in this shelter in place in California as far as the rules are concerned. The governor is moving the state into phase 2 very slowly, I must say. He's already said that May 4th was entering phase 2, but I'm in Santa Clara County, and Santa Clara County rules override the governor's rules, and so they're stricter, and so phase 2 has not been implemented as of this moment as we're speaking. However, hot off the presses, Elon Musk has decided to open up his automobile manufacturing facility here in Northern California, and it was just given the go-ahead as we speak. Before I came live on the show, I just read a news article that's saying that the county was going to give him the go-ahead to open up as long as he abided by the county's distancing rules. So that's good news as some bigger companies are pressing through the window, so to speak, to get things moving. Some counties are moving faster than the governor and others are moving slower. Like I said, Santa Clara County is moving a little bit slower, and we have businesses pushing back, trying to open against the shelter-in-place orders to keep families from going bankrupt. That's a real deal. We've already lost a few icons up here in Northern California that you may already be aware of. We have lost the Saddle Rack, a great country hangout for people to go out and dance and do birthday parties, celebrations, marriage proposals. All sorts of history has taken place out of that location in Fremont. And then I also read that one of the in-dining food chains, a buffet chain called Sweet Tomatoes is also gone out of business, unfortunately, and that's 4,000 jobs lost. And just a reminder where we all started with this, the whole reason for shelter in place was to flatten the curve and not to overwhelm our hospitals. The original goal was to not stop new cases, but to flatten it and blunt it so that we could handle the virus as people were getting sick, and we had the capability to take care of those who were coming down with it. And the way I see it is the goalposts have been moved, and now they're talking about not moving forward unless, there is a vaccine or there are no more cases in a certain amount of time. It just keeps getting more and more restrictive. And so keep praying out there, folks, that as the citizens start to push back, that we move forward at a more a quick pace, and that this is lifted off of us as we, as a citizenry, decide how we want to deal with the virus as citizens, and not necessarily what our elective servants are trying to put on us. But anyway, as I have heard said out there as well, this is the first time we have quarantined the healthy and the sick at the same time. So with that being said, here's a blessing for good things to come. Comes from John 14, 1 through 4. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. So don't be troubled by all of this when what Jesus has waiting for you is way better than anything that we can imagine. So this is going to just be a bump in the road in history, I'm sure, and we'll all get back to our normal lives. But even if it doesn't change, nothing can beat what God has in store for us in the future. So before we start today's topic of it's getting hot, time to review air conditioning. Oh, that's right. I'm playing around with my sound effects today. I would like to bless you. I have a copy of a book called The Family Preparedness Buyer's Guide. Okay? And I would like to bless you with this book if you email me for a no obligation appointment to give you an estimate on the value of your home, or just sit down to discuss the prospect of buying a home. Okay, I'd like to give you a copy of this book. And this is a must-have book for any family preparing for any emergency. This bestseller will provide you and your family with information about survival gear, tools, weapons, and for your skill set. So reach out to me, and I would be glad to give you a copy of this book at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. And as we go into the break, we will be having a giveaway during today's show. So don't go away, come back. We're going to be having a giveaway during the show that I'd love for you to be participating in, as far as giving away something that I think will be of immense value to you besides the information. So we're going to go and take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to get into all things air conditioning, okay? All things air conditioning. And also, just want to remind you that the book has chapters on emergency shelter, fire and clothing, emergency food and cooking gear, communication and navigation, and survival guns. So for my live audience, I'm holding up a picture of the outside of the book, and I'm just going to flip open to a random page, and you can see that it's really well illustrated. Emergency food and cooking gear. There it is, right there. Great, lots of pictures, examples of how things work. So I think this would be a blessing to you. So when we get back from paying some bills and doing a little commercial break, we're going to jump into all things air conditioning. And we're also going to talk about what's going on the ground that has changed, that is opening up the real estate market. So stay with me, and I'll see you in a minute. All right. That was a little rough. Sorry. We're working on it. No. I do want 2 minutes. I'm talking to my producer on the other end, and I misheard him. I thought he said 1 minute, and I started rushing through the segment. So that is my bad. That's okay, though. We're doing good. We're doing good today. I'm sure we're going to make the magic work today. Okay. All right. So I'm going to count us back down. If you're ready to go, you just let me know. All right, that sounds fantastic. To my live audience, thank you for joining me. I'm checking it. We've got 2 people. I don't have my lovely assistant at the house that could set up a watch party, but that's okay. She had to go into the office, and they're working back at the city of San Jose to get city services up and running again, hopefully in the near future. So that's good news. That's good news. All right, so we keep rocking and rolling. Let me know when you're ready, Mr. Producer. No one likes little radio silence. How about if we play a little with our sound effects today? I'm just going to move my piece of paper out of the way here, and I'm going to add a little volume. All right. Okay, so we're ready to get back in it? All right, so I'm going to count myself back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on The Real Estate Connection with your host, Stephen Thayard, realtor and certified probate real estate specialist. Hey, if you want to get to know more about me and get more information, you can hit my website up at stephenthayard.com. That's stephenthayard.com. Or if you have a question about anything you've heard on today's show, you can hit me up at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. Also, for all of you who are just joining me and maybe have missed the first segment of the show, you can find me on Apple Podcasts. That's Apple Podcasts, The Real Estate Connection. The Real Estate Connection on Apple Podcasts. If you miss any portion of the show, go there, subscribe to my channel, and you can catch all of my past episodes, and I would be happy to have you as a subscriber. So getting back to what we were talking about today, which is all things air conditioning as we're heading into the summer months. Before we get started into that topic, I wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on in real estate as we're practicing it throughout Northern California. There have been some adjustments to the shelter-in-place policy that I wanted to share with you if you are thinking of buying or selling right now. All right, so this is it. This is good. All right. First of all, home stagers are now available to go into homes and stage your houses for sale. That is a huge win for the real estate industry in Northern California as far as shelter in place is concerned. All right, that's absolutely fantastic. Now we don't have to do virtual staging anymore. Stagers can come in, decorate the home, which on average brings, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15% more for your house versus having it vacant. Additionally, we as real estate professionals can now show homes that are occupied by a homeowner. Before May 4th, we were not allowed to show houses if the homeowner was still living in it, which essentially shut down half the market, basically. So you could only show houses that were vacant, and in some counties, you couldn't even have furniture in the property as far as being vacant was concerned. So this is a huge win for the industry, and that's good news as we continue to move forward in this shelter in place. Okay, so we're going to jump into now all things air conditioning. And the reason we're doing this show on air conditioning is because we're running up onto the summer months. And this is a good topic to know just one, where does air conditioning come from? Where did it get started in the first place? A lot of us use it every single day in various locations, and we have no idea how it works. So knowledge is power. Understanding how this came into place, where it's located and how it works helps you not only as far as your own personal knowledge, but if things break down, you have a better understanding when you're talking to the repair person to know, one, if they're giving you the real deal and information about what's going on. And so you can talk their language. There's nothing worse than having somebody come in and give you advice about a system that you don't have any idea how it works because you're not sure whether or not you're getting told the real deal. So we find air conditioning in all places, all sorts of places. Our cars, our homes, hospitals, office buildings, shopping malls, airplanes, classrooms, right? In Washington, D.C., I don't know if you've ever been out there in the middle of summer, but it is hot. And there's a high degree of humidity out there. I don't think our legislature would be working year-round if air conditioning wasn't invented, because nobody would be in Washington, D.C. in this modern age trying to do laws and conduct the business of the country unless they were able to be comfortable and inside air-conditioned buildings. So where did the modern air conditioning system come from? The first modern air conditioning system was developed way back in 1902 by a young electrical engineer by the name of Willis Haviland Carrier. Now, that last name should ring a bell, because out there you will see lots of Carrier air conditioning systems out there, right? So it's a familiar name, and it goes way back to 1902. It was designed to solve a humidity problem at the Sackett Wilhelms Lithographing and Publishing Company in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, so the issue they were having was that paper stock at the plant would sometimes absorb moisture from the warm summer air, making it difficult to apply the layered inking techniques of the time. So this was a lithographing company that would print on paper. And so they were running this paper through their printing process back in the 1900s, and they were having problems getting the ink on the paper, or maybe the paper was wet and tearing and ripping and not being able to get through the mills. So they needed help to bring the moisture out of the paper. So Carrier treated the air inside the building by blowing it across chilled pipes. The air cooled as it passed across the cold pipes, and since cool air can't carry as much moisture as warm air, the process reduced the humidity in the plant and stabilized the moisture content in the paper. All right, so that is what was going on. They were trying to reduce the moisture content in the paper. What's that? I hear an air horn. You know what that means, folks? We have a giveaway. We have a giveaway. All right, so the third caller that calls me at the first three callers, let's make it the first three callers that call me at 408-472-0817. The first three callers that call me at 408-472-0817 will receive a copy of the Family Preparedness Buyer's Guide. That's right. The first three callers who call me right now, I have a book for you, the Family Preparedness Buyer's Guide, waiting for you. So that's right. There's my first giveaway of the show today. The first three callers that call me. That's right. We heard the horn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. Okay. All right. And I will be announcing the winners of that giveaway on next week's show. All right, so let's get back to all things air conditioning. So we're learning the history of where air conditioning came from, right? So we were having problems in New York, in Brooklyn, with the Wilhelms Lithographing and Publishing Company with their paper getting wet from the warm air. So Carrier treated the inside of the building by blowing air across chilled pipes to get the moisture out of the air. The process reduced the humidity in the plant and stabilized the moisture content of the paper. So reducing the humidity also had the side benefit of lowering the air temperature, and a new technology was born. Carrier realized he developed something with far-reaching potential, and it wasn't long before air conditioning systems started popping up in where would you think the first places air conditioning systems would be popping up back in the 1900s? Any guesses out there? Anybody know? All right, I'll help you out. In theaters. People were going to movies back then. They had people playing the organ and the talkies and the black and white movies. It was an event to go see moving pictures, but it was hot inside of those places. So that's where some of the first air conditioning systems were installed. Then it started expanding to stores. People could now shop comfortably in commercial stores for clothing and other items, making the long, hot summer months much more comfortable. That's right, comfort was added as a byproduct of dragging moisture out of the air so that paper could be dry for people to print on. Now, I've been told that I had 2 minutes, which means I'm probably down to less, which means I'm probably down to about a minute. All right. So now that we know where air conditioning comes from, let's look at how it works. When we get back from the break, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of how your air conditioner works in your car, in your house, in movie theaters, in school buses, in the halls of the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C., where we just have air conditioning so that we can be more productive in the hot summer months. So stay with me. You're not going to want to miss what's coming up, and maybe there might be another giveaway as far as that's concerned. And thank you for joining me on today's show. If you want more information about anything or have questions, info@realestateconnectionradio.com. Again, that's info@realestateconnectionradio.com. Email me today, and I'll see you when I get back from paying some bills. See you in a minute. All right, we're keeping on the roll here, and we're still streaming. I'm online. Solved my technology issue. Thank you very much. Yes, I did. Yep. I was having problems with technology. I was not broadcasting live on Facebook, and I was doing a lot of research, and lo and behold, I got this thing up and rolling. Hello to my YouTube fans on YouTube. I appreciate y'all too. And also my Periscope fans as well out there. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And I appreciate it. So we're going to get back into all things real estate. And I'm going to count myself down for the radio recording. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining me on the Real Estate Connection. My name is Stephen Thayard. I am your host, realtor, and certified probate real estate specialist. I am an active realtor in Northern California, working out of Santa Clara County, South Santa Clara County as well, Gilroy, Morgan Hill, San Martin, also down in Hollister, Monterey County, Aromas, all of those areas. If you want more information about me, contact me directly at StephenThayard.com. That's StephenTheard.com. StephenThayard.com. And I would be happy to meet with you if you want to connect at info@realestateconnectionradio.com as well, or you can call me directly at 408-472-0817. If you have any questions about today's show, I'd love to hear from you as well. Call me right now, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. And if I can get to your question on this show, I will address it during the program. And if not, next week, definitely for sure, we will bring it up if we don't have time today. So go ahead and reach out and call right now, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. And also, we will be announcing the winners of the last segment in regards to the Family Preparedness Buyer's Guide. We had a segment where the first 3 callers were to get that book, and I will be announcing those winners next week as well. Additionally, if you're just joining me for the show and you've just come in mid-show, we've been talking about all things air conditioning as we're running into the summer months, and we went into detail as to how it was invented. It was basically an accident. An inventor by the last name of Carrier was working on pulling the moisture out of the air for a lithographing company or printer out of New York, Brooklyn, New York. They were having problems with their paper getting too moist and not being able for them to print onto the paper. So in order to pull the moisture out of the air, Mr. Carrier blew air over cold pipes, and then by this process, it drew the moisture out of the air, which then pulled the moisture out of the paper. which explains why we have moisture issues when we have leaks in our air conditioning system. If you didn't know, that's right. When you have a working air conditioner, it is actually pulling moisture out of the air while it is working, and there has to be a place for that moisture to be gathered, captured, and then vented out of the system so it doesn't leak. And I have had properties listed for sale that we thought had a leak in the piping from water going into the various locations into the home, into the bathrooms or the kitchen, that turned out to be a leak from the air conditioner, because the air conditioner does pull that moisture out of the air. So in this segment, we're going to dive into the technicalities, or the technical aspects of how the air conditioning systems work, okay? So air conditioners use refrigeration to chill indoor air, taking advantage of a physical law, okay? When a liquid converts to a gas in a process called phase conversion, it absorbs heat. Air conditioners exploit this feature of phase conversion by forcing special chemical compounds to evaporate and condense over and over again in a closed system of coils. That's right, they cause the gases to evaporate and condense over and over again in a closed system of coils. The compounds involved are refrigerants that have properties enabling them to change at relatively low temperatures. So air conditioners also contain fans that move warm interior air over these cold refrigerant-filled coils. Okay, so where are those coils located? Do you know? That's a question, because I didn't know exactly where they were located as well. I thought they were in another spot that seemed a lot more logical to me than where they actually are located. For you HVAC folks who are listening in the audience, don't give the answer away, okay? But that's a question for you out there right now. Where are those coils located in your home central air conditioning system? All right, so central air conditioners also have a whole system of ducts designed to funnel air to and from these serpentine air chilling coils. When hot air flows over the cold, low pressure evaporator coils, the refrigerant inside absorbs heat as it changes from a liquid to a gaseous state. That's right. When the hot air flows over the coils, low pressure evaporator coils, the refrigerant inside absorbs the heat as it changes from a liquid to a gaseous state. To keep cooling efficiently, the air conditioner has to convert the refrigerant gas back to a liquid again. To do that, a compressor puts the gas under high pressure and a process that creates unwanted heat. Now, if you've been listening carefully, where would you want that unwanted heat to go if you have a closed loop system that is functioning on the inside of your house? Any guesses? And we gave a hint. Compressor. That's right. It's the compressor. It's outside of your house. So as that gas gets hotter from absorbing the heat as the air is flowing over the coils and reducing it to being cool, right? The heat has to escape somewhere. And where's the compressor at? It's on the exterior of your home. And that's that big, huge box that sits on the side of your house that has the fan on top that's roaring around in a circle, blowing air over those hot coils as it's coming out of the house, which should then give you a hint as to where the cool coils are located. They're actually located in your house. So when you look at your HVAC system, which is usually behind a little door in your house, a little tiny closet. That's right, that little closet, you open the door and you see this big metal box in there, and you know, generally speaking, that's where your gas pilot light is, where you ignite the gas and then air blows through over the fire, the flame, and gets heated, and then it's blown throughout the entire home through your ducting system and the vents that are either in the ceiling or the floor of your house. That box actually contains the cool, cold coils where the air is flowing to create air conditioning. So the box does both things, heat and cooling. Heat and cooling. And for the life of me, it never really hit me. I thought that the cool coils were located in the compressor on the outside of the house. So this is something for you to know, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner out there, or if you're renting and you have a problem with your air conditioning system and somebody's going to come out and take a look at it, right? Now you have information and knowledge. You can speak HVAC, right? The coils, the cold is on the inside and the hot is on the outside. So Mr. Producer tells me that I have 2 minutes. All right, so we're going to keep rolling through the details of how this all works so that you have a better understanding and an education so you can be informed whenever you have either a repairman coming out to check on your air conditioning system, or you're thinking about installing it or replacing it. So you have a better understanding where all the components are located. So when they're talking about ducts and coils and compressors, you get how the system works. So I've been told that I have 1 minute. Just a little teaser, when we're going to get back. All the extra heat created by compressing the gas is then evacuated to the outdoors with the help of a second set of coils, right? Those second sets of coils are located on the exterior. All right, so if you have any questions about today's show, about what we're talking about, call me right now, 408-472-0817. And if I can get to it, I will. If not, we'll address it next week. All right, so thank you for staying with me. If you want more information or you want to sign up for my podcast, info at realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info at realestateconnectionradio.com. And I'll see you when I get back from the break. All right. We are rolling. All right. Oh, I sure do miss my beautiful bride. Watching the show at home with me and doing a watch party. She knew how to gather the people. So, love you, babe. Wish you were here. All right. All right. So we're going to keep rolling through the technicalities of air conditioning. All things air conditioning. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection with your host and practicing realtor Stephen Thayard, and probate real estate specialist as well. If you have any probate related questions, if you're just started the probate process and you have questions related to probate and the sale of real estate and how it works, or you have other siblings that are involved and they have questions that need to be answered, please reach out to me right now at info at realestateconnectionradio.com, info at realestateconnectionradio.com. I would be happy to answer any of your questions, or call me at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Additionally, if you're joining the show right now, mid-show, and you've missed any part of all things air conditioning and want to learn where air conditioning came from, the technicalities of how it works, you can sign up for my podcast, which will have this entire show on the internet next week by looking for me at Apple Podcasts, The Real Estate Connection, Apple Podcasts, or you can just send me your email address at info at realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info at realestateconnectionradio.com. You send me your email address, and I will add you to my mailing list when we send out the podcast weekly. Sign up right now. That way you will never miss a show. If you have to go off and do something mid-show and just can't stay for the whole thing, I'd love to be able to give that to you. gratis, free of charge. Now, we were going through the technicalities or the specifications of how of real estate, sorry, of how refrigerants and air conditioning work. I'm tripping over my words right now. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we were talking about the fact that the cooling coils are actually located inside of your house, and that the gas that's used to cool the air as it's running across your HVAC system located in that little tiny closet inside of your house, the hot air rolls across the top of those cooling coils. It gets cooled and gets blown out into your house or your car or the theater or your office building, correct? So the coil then absorbs the heat from the hot air that's passing over it, and then it expands and it gets pushed out to the condenser located at the exterior of your home. Also, you have condensation on those coils as it's drawing moisture out of the air, and that gathers in a trough and eventually gets led through a pipe to the exterior of your house as well. The condenser cools off the gases again, which then condenses them into a cold state and pushes it back into the house where the hot air is blowing over those coils again. So that's a little bit of a review. So the condenser coils are located on the exterior of your home, and a second fan is located on that condenser. And as the gas cools, it changes back to a liquid, and the process starts all over again in a cycle. The same air conditioning system, whether it's large or small, works in all applications, whether it's in your car or whether it's in your house, whether it's in your office or a store or a movie theater. That's just how it works. Now, air conditioners monitor and regulate the air temperature via a thermostat. They also have an onboard filter that removes airborne particulates from the circulating air. So that's another thing that you should do as we're getting ready to head into our summer months and you're about ready to kick on that air conditioner for the first time in your house, is change out your air filter. You should do it twice a year minimum, depending on how long the manufacturer of your air filter suggests. You should have it in place before you change it out. But having a clogged air filter will reduce the efficiency of either your heating or your cooling in the house. Also, the efficiency in your car as well. So you're going to want to change those air filters for gas mileage issues, for air going into your engine, and also for your heating and cooling systems inside of your car as well. So those air filters capture airborne particulates, which also help with allergies for your people within the home that have allergies as well. So you want to change those out right about now. So air conditioners also function as dehumidifiers, as I've already spoken about, because temperature is a key component of relative humidity. Reducing the temperature of a volume of humid air causes it to release a portion of its moisture. That's why there are drains and moisture collecting pans near or attached to air conditioners, and why air conditioners discharge water when they operate on humid days. Now, here in California, we don't have a lot of humidity, but still, if you have any retention of water, say because you have a leak in your house and maybe you have water in the walls, and it gets hot and it starts heating up that air, and you might start to smell a little mustiness in the house, the air conditioning system will help, I believe, based on the science I've just read to you, reduce that moisture in the air for you. So that is actually a very good thing. However, if you are smelling mustiness in your house after a rain, you should probably call a contractor to come out and do a moisture check on the walls to see if maybe you have an internal leak or an exterior leak, because you don't want moisture sitting behind the wall in your house and then potentially growing that M word, the word that we hate to use in real estate, mold, right? We don't want mold in your walls. So what are the four parts of an air conditioning unit? The evaporator, the condenser, the expansion valve, and the compressor. The evaporator receives the liquid refrigerant. The condenser facilitates the heat transfer. The expansion valve regulates refrigerant flow into the evaporator, and the compressor is a pump that pressurizes the refrigerant. The cold side of the air conditioner contains the evaporator and a fan that blows over the chilled coils and into the room. The hot side contains the compressor, condenser, and another fan to vent hot air coming off the compressed refrigerant to the outdoors. Okay, so your compressor is on the outside of the house. Your compressor is on the outside of the house, and then the cold side is located on the inside of the house, like I said before. So what are the different types of air conditioners for a home? One, you have your central air conditioning, which we've been speaking about, which is that system that rotates around the house through your ducts and having your HVAC behind the little door in the little closet in your house, or maybe it's up in the attic. I know in houses that have dual zone air conditioning, you may have a air conditioning heating unit in your attic and also one on the lower floor, which will have dual controls so that you can control the temperature upstairs and downstairs individually. You're also going to have what's called our ductless mini split air conditioners. Now, these air conditioners are very popular in Europe and also for commercial use. So I don't know if you've traveled anywhere overseas, whether you've been to Spain or whether you've been to Great Britain or Italy, but these are those slim units. They're white usually, and they sit above the ceiling above the doorways. They're ductless, right? So they're mini split systems that are most common in parts of the home that have been retrofitted. So like central air conditioning systems, these systems have an outdoor compressor, condenser, and an indoor handling unit. If you're looking to cool individual rooms in your house, this system might be just for you, because many ductless mini split systems can have as many as 4 indoor handling units, which are all connected to the outdoor unit. So each zone has its own thermostat, allowing you to adjust temperature for each room accordingly. This is especially advantageous if you're wanting to cool only a particular part of the house that is being used. So unlike a central system where the ducts just run throughout the entire house, these are located room by room or area by area, and you can choose to turn them on or turn them off and control the temperature individually. So Mr. Producer, how much time do we have left? We have 1 minute. All right. So when we get back from the break, we're going to get into other types of air conditioning units that are used in the housing industry that are common out there, and we're just going to roll through those as part of all things air conditioning today. Thank you for joining me, and if you have any questions about today's show, call me 408-472-0817, or if you have something that you want me to cover in today's show, and if we have time, I'll get to it either today or next week. So thanks for joining me, your host, Stephen Thayard, realtor of the Real Estate Connection, and we'll see you when we get back from paying some bills. All right. Okay, we're having a little silence here, so let's break it up. That's one of my sound effects. Here's the party one. All right, we got 5 minutes. Sounds good. All right, we're counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the show, everybody, with your host, Stephen Thayard, realtor, Northern California, and probate real estate specialist as well. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection here on KFAX 1100. If you've missed any part of today's show, you can catch the whole entire episode on my podcast. If you'd like to subscribe to getting my podcast, send me an email at info@realestateconnectionradio.com with your email address, and I will add you to my mailing list that sends out an episode every week. That way you can listen to the podcast and then click the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, and that way you'll get notified directly on your smart device, whether it be a phone or a tablet. That way you'll never miss a show. Thank you for joining me as we've been going through all things air conditioning. The last part of this show, we're going through different types of air conditioners that are used for residential applications. Next, we're going to look at the window air conditioner. This is a whole system contained in a small space located in a window. And I know you've seen them. They're popular for apartments where you really don't want to spend your own money to improve the space, but you want cooling in your apartment, or whether maybe you're renting a place and you don't want to make a huge investment in someone else's property. This is an application that you can use where you can control the temperature in maybe your main bedroom or office. Okay, we also have portable air conditioners. These air conditioners can be rolled from room to room, okay? And I think you've seen them before. They sell them at big box hardware stores as well. The portable air conditioners are considered as the next generation of a window unit, right? This type of air conditioner unit takes in air from the room and cools it, then directs it back out of the room. The unit then vents any warm air outside by means of an exhaust hose that is installed in a window. These can be very effective and efficient for cooling the air. However, they're run by electricity, and so you have to be careful of your electrical costs when you're using this type of air conditioning system. All right, so that's it for air conditioning units. Just a quick update. As of January of this year, 2020, R22 refrigerant became illegal to manufacture or import into the United States of America. So if you do have a an air conditioning system that's run on the R22 refrigerant, it's going to become more expensive to replace and more expensive to service or to recharge your air conditioning system. So you may be looking at converting your system to the new R410A system of refrigerant. So you may want to call your contractor, your HVAC person, to come out and take a look at your system before it gets really hot out there and they get super busy. Just have them come out and take a look to see whether or not you need a recharge or whether your system is working properly. That way you're not stuck in line behind everybody else once it gets super hot and everyone starts using their refrigerators. Your air conditioners, sorry. Okay, so thank you for joining me on the Real Estate Connection. Again, I am your host, Stephen Thayard. I am a realtor practicing in Northern California. I have a listing I just put on the market in Pioneer, of all places. I have another listing coming up also in Morgan Hill, California. So I am practicing selling, and I have a client out there looking for a place in Morgan Hill as well, a new buyer that I'm working with. So if you're at all interested in getting to know me better, you can look at my website at StephenThayard.com. That's StephenTheard.com. Or you can just call me directly at 408-472-0817. That's 408-472-0817. I'd be happy to talk about your real estate needs or your probate needs. So thank you again for joining me on today's show. And if you want to sign up for my podcast, send me your email at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the United States of America. Hang in there, folks. This thing can't last forever. For shelter in place, we will come out of this. Stay strong, America. We are a people that are strong, and we've been through a lot worse than this. God bless you, and see you next week. All right. I've been taking advice, and implementing it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's show. Again, reach out. I'm accessible. Call me directly, 408-472-0817 if you have any real estate related needs out here in Northern California. Or if you want to subscribe to the podcast, info@realestateconnectionradio.com. Send me your email address and I will add you to my mailer for a podcast that go out every week. Thank you, Mr. Producer, and I will call you next week. And hopefully I'll get to meet you in person. All right, take care. All right, bye-bye. All right, thanks everybody else for joining me on today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see y'all next week on The Real Estate Connection. And I will be going through those questions that I received via phone call because we did run out of time today, unfortunately. All right, thank you so much, everybody. And I am out. Bye-bye.